So the world right now is kind of captivated by what Obama said and Trump responded. You know, about little aliens and UFOs. But no, it's more than just about some blurry Navy video and grainy desert footage. It started, correctly, with the former President of the United States, when Barack Obama casually stated during an interview that aliens are, quote, real. America stopped. Then he double-backed, saying the chances we've been visited by aliens are low, but by then, it was too late. The statement was made, the internet exploded. Markets of speculation exploded everywhere. Because now, another president entered the chat. President Donald J. Trump responded by stating he made a big mistake. That he had just taken something classified and told the public. Oh, wait now. Because it was classified, that means it exists. And if it exists, what exactly did Obama just leak? And why did Trump immediately turn to Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth and reportedly say, release it all? But now wait. Did he also just threaten ex-President Obama? And does he have a legitimate claim? If the intel is truly classified, and is everybody missing the angle entirely? Oh, we're going to discuss all that and so much more in just a few seconds.
Raised the question of Jeffrey Epstein in your remarks about in the Q&A.
Well, I think he's got a problem. I mean,
what do you think the problem will be?
I don't know, but that island was really a cesspool. There's no question about it. Just ask Prince Andrew. He'll tell you about it.
Just in case anybody forgot, President Trump never knew what he was talking about. Kind of went into this testimony released yesterday, huh? Of course, Jasmine Crockett tried to get on the record President Donald J. Trump's name multiple times, and she did. But no substance whatsoever. Of course, she never has any substance, but appears there was a little substance that came out. Remember all these conspiracies that continue to be called conspiracies until they're verified? Well, here was one of those.
We've seen a big company like Bear Stearns, and then he had done personal work for the Rothschild family in France.
Personal wealth management, essentially?
I don't know.
Okay.
Well, specifically, I talked to Ellie de Rothschild, and so I mentioned that earlier. So he represented their whole family, so there had been a whole bunch of people. I mean, most of them I never would have met, but...
Boy, but that never existed. That was conspiracy. Till yesterday, man, that man had a lot to say yesterday. And it could have just been some old man talking, right? Creepy individual we know did a lot wrong. At least we have to assume he did, right? But it could have been only him, and it could have, again, stayed in the realm of, well, actually he added to the conspiracy, or his lawyer did, because if you weren't creeped out about this story before, what happens if you felt now this man was maybe being controlled by something much larger, especially when his own attorney is caught on a hot mic stating this?
It was just regularly done.
Answer the question. 5 words, okay?
I don't know if you heard that out loud, but it was, I'll effing kill you if you answer another question with more than 5 words. The attorney that he's paying allegedly just told him that he would effing kill him if he answers another question with more than 5 words. Now, that would probably lend to another conspiracy that maybe he's being watched over what he says. Wow. Thank you for just going and adding more to this saga of a story. But we got to transition from one creepy guy to, Mandani has a budget crisis on his hands, and he speaks to it here.
Do not fix this structural imbalance, and do not heed the calls of New Yorkers to raise taxes on the wealthy. This crisis will not disappear. It will simply return, year after year, forcing harder and harsher choices each time. We remain firmly within a budget crisis. It is a crisis that we can and will overcome. But we cannot do so without either significant structural changes in Albany or painful decisions of last resort here at home.
Painful decisions of last resort. You heard him. I mean, obviously he was elected because he's so qualified to make the proper decisions. Do you know what his proper decision is? It is amazing, his proper decision, because he has many decisions he can make to balance the budget. So, of course, he chose the appropriate one to do so by cutting the New York Police Department's budget. Madani proposes cutting New York Police Department budget, canceling 5,000 new officer hires. Because, as we stated, he was defund the police. He remains defund the police, and he just found the first convenient opportunity because there was nothing else to cut in the budget. Not $5.6 million for the Office of Racial Equity, or $4.6 million for the Commission on Racial Equity, or $835,000 for the Commission on Gender Equity, or $260,000 for the Department of Education Chief Diversity Officer, or $301,000 for the 3 FDNY Civil Chief Diversity Inclusion Officers, or $118,000 for the FDNY Chief Diversity Inclusion Officer. Nah, let's just cut the police force. That's what was elected. Oh, we're going to have so many stories about this continuing forward. By the way, somebody on the comments yesterday just put on the public platform now, you're just so difficult to watch because you're becoming so arrogant. Is it because I'm pointing out the facts about stuff that you disagree with? Because if that's the fact, there's other channels you can go watch. Because I'm not going to stop pointing out what the other side's doing. And if you expect that out of me, you're on the wrong channel. Ain't going to happen. Sorry, not sorry. Boo-hoo. We're going to continue on. Because there's some good things happening in this country that need to be happening right now, like U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement, who remind everybody of what they're defending. Thousands of American families have been torn apart because criminal illegal alien violence. American citizens raped and murdered by those who have no right to be in our country. This is who we fight for, and they put up the entire graphic of what we should be fighting for. Pretty easy concept. I'm sorry, am I being arrogant again? Or am I just pointing out facts that you don't want to consume? You'd rather close your eyes and ignore it. Those are who we should be defending. Like Laken Riley, Rachel Morin, Kayla Hamilton, and the brutal crimes committed against them that our Department of Homeland Security and ICE is attempting to defend. But no, maybe you'd like to take the other side. There needs to be accountability for the architect of the terror we are facing in Minneapolis and so many other cities, which is Stephen Miller. We need accountability for him now. Or maybe if you allow them to get him, maybe if you don't have people like me speaking against this, you'll get exactly what they want, which is this. Oh, you think they only want to remove ICE? Oh, no, folks.
An easier conversation happening today than 6, 7 years ago when I got to Congress about what we need to do with ICE, which is to abolish it. And there is a lot of conversation about what the dismantlement of the Department of Homeland Security should look like.
There you go. Just dismantle the entire Department of Homeland Security. Open up our borders and get rid of the Department of Homeland Security. It's her words, not mine. But I'm the arrogant one. Don't try to distract. You think you're going to stop me? Good luck with that. Please. Oh, you think she's the only one? Oh, no. Oh, not even close.
This whole thing is a giant militarization and weaponization of ICE and CBP. They are agencies that should not exist as they exist. When we get power back, we have to dismantle them. And we can go back to immigration enforcement as a civil system, because that's what it is.
You see, I'm sorry, did I point out the facts again? Do you hate that I'm able to find everything and put it out for my audience so clearly? That's probably what bothers you, isn't it? It probably really bothers you that I'm able to take your own talking points, find them, and put them in black and white. You'd rather just those be hidden, right? Oh, I'm sorry. Did I hurt your feelings? Seriously. You think? These folks actually think they're going to get me to stop. Frickin' crack me up. Just like they think they're going to get Tom Homan to stop. He also has something to say on this.
Welcome, first of all. Tom Homan, good to have you here.
Thanks for having me.
How do you respond to the Congresswomen?
Good luck with that. I mean, they want to abolish the Department of Homeland Security, which you said was developed after the terrorist attacks here in the United States. They want to do away with the agency that enforces the laws that they enacted. It just don't make sense.
It don't make sense. We're enforcing the laws that you enacted. If you don't like the laws that you enacted, change them. Let me know how that works out. Seriously, these people, there is something wrong in their minds. And I'll just point it out, but go ahead, keep the rhetoric up. So more people will take vehicles, like stolen ambulances, and drive them through the lobbies of ICE offices. This happened. With explosives, thankfully. This didn't turn into an absolute disaster. This is where this rhetoric continues to lead day after day after day. But ICE bad, Orange Man bad. Well, Massey's back in. Who's, again, with his best buddy here. Because these two are just thick as thieves now, because as the Iran window continues to close, they're going to put a new push to rein in Trump's power. This has been out here for a while. They want to get the War Powers Resolution out there so they can control President Trump. Of course they do. Thomas Massey put this out because Thomas Massey has a better handle on international politics than President Trump does. Just ask him, he'll tell you. As we find out, more aircrafts are continuing to be seen. As I said, that window continues to close as we prepare, as the military buildup. Thomas Massey is going to be the one who's going to dictate and control what we're going to do out there. There's only one man I listen to on this. And he's now, well, put a timeline out there.
Qatar, countries, nobody could have signed. You would have had that threat. Nobody could have had, you couldn't have had peace in the Middle East. So now we may have to take it a step further, or we may not. Maybe we're going to make a deal. You're going to be finding out over the next probably 10 days.
Bet there's some guys in Iran right now who are like, come on. 10 days, that's what you got. Oh, I know you think that Russia and China are out there doing their military drills with you and they're going to help you out. No, folks. They're going to duck and cover and leave the theater. They're just there for the moment. They're going to depart Iran. It's going to be up to you to defend yourself. Regime that's about to be removed. You think Trump's delaying for negotiations? No, he's getting deeper intelligence this time around. Because if he truly has a couple choices here, which he does have a couple choices, and he's going for true regime change, that's a little bit more difficult because, well, these guys know where to hide. And there's probably people on the ground that know where they hide. And if they're going to move quickly, I'm sure maybe President Trump wants to know exactly where they're going to go hide, and that takes a little bit of mapping and time and intelligence. But, well, also takes a little time to move our carriers out there, but they're there now. So are our planes and our assets. And that intelligence obviously is now in his hands. So tick-tock, tick-tock. Told you that story would continue to take shape before this story takes shape. President Donald Trump said that Obama just made a big mistake. That he had just taken something classified and told the public. There's a problem with that. Because if it was classified, that means it exists. But here's the part that, well, most people missed. This may have never been about UFOs at all. Because, Laura Trump dropped something that would send chills down Washington's spine. She says that President Trump already has a speech prepared. A speech about this very topic. And he's just been waiting for the right moment to read it, to release it. So now the question appears to be not whether UFOs and aliens are real, because Obama just told you. The question is, was Obama's statement the trigger Trump needed? I can't wait to bring you the rest of this story. Before I do, just a couple favors here. I'm going to do a longer version of this video because The Atlantic just put out an article about Hitler's obsession with Greenland. Do you think there was a reason they put out that article? I'm going to tell you about the direct comparisons of how they spoke about Hitler and, without ever mentioning Trump's name, basically said Trump's name. It's a disgusting article. I'm going to go through that in the second part of this broadcast, which I do very often during the week. And if you haven't joined me at Restricted to hear the second part of those broadcasts, the extended versions of those podcasts, I'd love you to do it. It's your means of supporting me to keep that camera rolling, these lights on, or join as a member here. So many of you did yesterday. Thank you so very much. That video took off. The membership here grew. The subscribers grew. Thank you for helping me to beat this algorithm by making sure your bell is checked to all, by subscribing, by putting a comment, by sharing the video. Also love you all to go, of course, to Facebook. Make sure you follow me there. If you happen to be in the area, if you happen to live in Arizona, if you happen to live in the Cave Creek area, got a big deal going on coming up in about a week now. Because if you think we don't continually give back, we do. And we're going to have a big charity ride. You see, Lisa and I love dogs. We love vets. We love charity. And so if you'd like to join us, see us on our bike take off over the weekend, you'll see this. Always connected to my Facebook page. Love you to join us if you're out there. Be nice, stop by, say hi. You'll see us working our tail off, because if you think we just work here and just work there and pretty much work everywhere, well, the work never stops. So love you to join my Facebook page. You'll get some pictures if you can't join us there, see what's going on, see what happens in our, well, off time. It's always interesting, trust me. Join me, follow me. If you send for a new request, those get really full really quick. Just make sure you follow. That way you'll see everything that's going on and enjoy. But now let's get back to this broadcast.
Real. They're real, but I haven't seen them, and they're not being kept in, what is it?
Area 51?
Area 51. There's no...
So we'll stop there. That's all we really need to hear, because it's really not the big part of the story. Not the big part of the story I'm going to cover like everybody else did. Trump had a statement on this.
This week, Barack Obama said that aliens are real. Have you seen any evidence of non-human visitors to Earth.
Well, he gave classified information. He's not supposed to be doing that. You know?
So aliens are real.
Well, I don't know if they're real or not. I can tell you he gave classified information. He's not supposed to be doing that.
What was
He
the
made a big mistake. He took it out of classified information. No, I don't have an opinion on it. I never talk about it.
You heard him say that 4 times, didn't you? 4 times. Remember, psychology of politics. That's what you get here. Not just talking points and sound bites. Not what I like to do. Trump chastises Obama for spilling classified info with claims that aliens are real. It's very specific on it. He gave classified information. He's not supposed to. I don't know if they're real or not, but I can tell you he gave classified information. He made a big mistake. He took it out of classified information 4 times. That triggers something entirely different. So what does President Trump do? Based on a tremendous interest, I'll be directing Pete Hegseth to release all relevant information on extraterrestrials, unidentified aerial phenomenon, and unidentified flying objects. But I saw something entirely different because of that statement. Pete Hegseth, you got it, boss. I'll take care of it. Barack Obama's like, wait now. I was trying to stick with the spirit of the speed round, but since it got attention, let me clarify. Statistically, the universe is so vast that the odds are good that there's life out there, but the distances between solar systems are so great that the chances we've been visited by aliens is low. And I saw no evidence during my presidency that extraterrestrials have been made contact with us, really. Oopsie. Seems a lot of oopsies lately on that side of the aisle, huh? And then this statement.
That there is some speech that he has that I guess at the right time, and I don't know when the right time is, he's going to break out and talk about, and it has to do with maybe some sort of extraterrestrial life.
Uh-oh. That missed that? Did everybody not connect all this? You know I will. So let's discuss this whole deal going on. We can make fun of it, of course.
What's happening to him? What's killing him? I think it must be my music.
Nah, it's not your music. No, I think it's something bigger than your music. It's something we got to kind of slow down and go through the essence of what happened, because we got to get a little bit more serious for a moment. We can have fun about aliens, little green things, but everything just got real serious really quick. President Trump didn't just laugh off Obama's UFO comments. He didn't mock them. He didn't dismiss them as conspiracy theories. He said something very specific. He made a big mistake. He took it out of classified information. Now understand what that implies. You can't take something out of classified information unless classified information actually exists on the subject, which means this suddenly becomes less about aliens and more about whether a former president of the United States disclosed information he was never authorized to publicly discuss after leaving office. Because once you are no longer president, you don't get to declassify anything. And if that line was crossed, even casually, it opens the door to something far bigger than UFO speculation. It's called accountability. And here's where the political dimension comes into play. President Trump has long maintained that the investigation launched in his campaign during the prior administration was politically motivated. He said repeatedly that those actions must be answered for. So now imagine the scenario being quietly floated behind the scenes. A former president goes on record suggesting the existence of aerial phenomena. The sitting president immediately responds by saying the information was classified multiple times. And then reportedly directly directs the defense secretary to release everything the government has. That's not curiosity, that's escalation. Because releasing those files does 2 things simultaneously. 1, it answers to public questions about what the government has known regarding unidentified aerial phenomena. But 2, it establishes whether anything said publicly crossed the line into unauthorized disclosure. And Laura Trump's comments that a speech has already been written, well, what was she actually alluding to? Little green aliens? Because speeches at that level on that topic aren't drafted overnight. No, folks, they're prepared. And why would Trump be holding it for so long? Those speeches have to be vetted. Those speeches have to be timed. And they're held in reserve for a very good reason and very good cause, which suggests this moment may not be spontaneous at all. It may have been strategic, just waiting for a catalyst, and guess who prepared it? Obama. He made the mistake. He made the statement, and then attempted to walk it back, saying it was just that stick in the spirit of a speed round. Was that damage control? Because if the files are released, and if they align with what was publicly stated, then the issue moves beyond speculation about life beyond our planet, and into whether classified material was publicly referenced by someone who no longer had the authority to do so. That's not science fiction anymore. That's federal law. Ooh, send chills up your spine? So tonight the question isn't just, are we alone? Oh no. It's this. And it's big. Did one president just hand another president the opportunity he's been waiting for? What say you? You see, so many people just don't look at this stuff through the right lens now, do they? But I hear what President Trump says. And why he says things multiple times, it is one of his tells. He has very few. He's actually a very good poker player. But he does some things intentionally. And when he says the same thing 4 times, he has a very specific target in mind. And it's not her. Oh no, it's him. And that big mistake. Can't wait to see your comments. Before we carry on to a little bit more serious of a topic about what Atlantic just tried to do to President Trump. And of course, I'm going to be here to defend him. I love you all. Hope you'll join me over at Restricted Republic. Until next time, Godspeed and God bless. Justus Knight, signing out.